being that Jason Momoa has been casted as Aquaman.
That's right.
For an upcoming motion picture. I was just wondering how you felt about that, and if you're willing to consider start drawing in that way how he portrays, or would you just continue going on with your original sketches?
Okay.
Who's the worst superhero?
The worst superhero? I don't know. Who's your least favorite superhero?
Aquaman.
Oh, what? Oh, wow. Wow, you had no hesitation. There was not even like a nanosecond between, like you knew right away. And then you broke the guy's heart, the guy right in front of you. Like, he was like all about Aquaman, and you're like, I'm gonna take down Aquaman like that. And then drop the mic and just walk away. Like, hey, I don't even need to hear the answer anymore. I already told you. Aquaman. Alright. I'm gonna draw Aquaman next. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna make it the best Aquaman ever. It's gonna be him flying through the air, water glistening off his chest. It's gonna be, ooh, getting hot. Anyway, so, alright. So, no, the worst superhero, Matter Eater Lad. One of my favorite Legionnaires. Also, his superpower is that he can eat anything. And he's from a planet called Pepto-Bismol. It's true, it's horrible. He'll get to a bomb and like everyone's trying to figure out how to defuse the bomb, and he'll be like, I can take care of this. And he picks it up and starts eating the bomb. It's just like, it's just so classically 1960s Silver Age-ish to me. Anyway, sir.
Excuse me.
What do you think of Aquaman?
He's amazing.
He's amazing. See, look at that. We have like a...
This is a question about Batman Hush.
Yes?
Will you sign it like Scott Williams did? And secondly, out of all the Bat family members in this book, would you add any or take some out? Like, for example, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd.
You mean like out of continuity forever, or what do you mean?
No, in this book.
In Batman Hush? What book are you holding up?
Batman Hush.
Okay, no, you know, part of that story came out of my conversation with Jeff Loeb, and he's like, what do you want to draw? I'm like, oh, let's just draw like all the heroes and villains. And he's like, okay, I'll call you back. So that's how all these stories start out. And he said, I've got this story, it's a murder mystery, but we're gonna run through the whole Rose Gallery.
Also, upstairs in Panorama Pump, we have Steampunk Hawaii with Joe Ligonez, Tia Markey, Roy Chang, and Tracy Chan. That's upstairs in Down Room 1. And the Skybound Comics panel will be on the main stage in just a few minutes at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Where were we? Oh, yeah, so that was my answer. No, I wouldn't take any of them out. It was a lot of fun. In many ways, when I did that, I didn't even know if I screwed up that eye, so I'm not, that's why she always has that hair over one eye. Okay. I think this will be the last question, then I'm gonna finish this drawing and I'll figure out a way to give this away. I think I'm also doing this again tomorrow. How many of you guys are coming back tomorrow? Just the people up here. Right? The people back there are like, I'm out of here. That person will be here. All right. Go ahead. Last question.
Hey Jim. So as the last person asked a question, I was wondering if I could take a selfie with you.
Sure.
And also, a more serious question. What are you most looking forward towards Rebirth?
You know, I'll tell you that The Flash is amazing, the storyline of The Flash. I'm really excited to see Tom King come over and take over Batman with Dave Finch and Mikhail Janine. That's always the flagship book. And they've got a very different thing going on than what Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder did, but I'm so really excited to see what they do with that book. And they're all like they're all some great stories. You know, Jeff Johns really took the time to sit down and work with all the different writers and editors to really kind of deconstruct the characters and the mythology. And I think it's going to pay off.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm at the very end here. Get rid of this eye. Gosh, if someone can, so for this, was this your birthday gift coming to the convention? All right, sweet. Oh, okay. So yesterday, as the story continues, I had started this drawing of Psylocke, which I had messed up. I hadn't drawn the character in a long time. So like one eye was messed up. Luckily, it was her left eye, and that's where the hair goes over it. So I just conveniently put the hair over the eye, but you can still see the eye is like way off the side, so it looks really deranged, deformed. So I'm just going to finish this up and give it away to continue from what we did yesterday. Maybe today I'll share a little bit of, what comics meant to me. When I was a kid growing up, we didn't have the benefit of all these great TV shows and movies and video games. So reading comics was really a secret passion amongst the people that collected comics, and it was almost like if you saw anyone with like a T-shirt with like a superhero on it, A, you don't know where they got the shirt because no one made shirts like that, and B, you could go right up to them and start talking about comics because you knew for 100% they were into comic books. Nowadays, it's not the same, and I always have to kind of resist the urge to go up to anyone I see like a Target with like a superhero T-shirt because I want to go up and start talking about, hey, are you a fan of Wolverine too? Because I drew that shirt, and they're like, like calling security and stuff because it comes off kind of funny. But at the time, it was a big part of my childhood and escape, and my parents kind of pushed me pretty hard academically. And for fun, there wasn't a lot to do. We didn't really have video games. I had Pong. I remember when Pong debuted. But we would really use like sticks and pretend they're weapons. Oh, thanks, man. And I remember one time we were playing in the woods. We'd go and play in the woods a lot. And we found this old broken dryer, and we used that as like a spaceship, like it was a module. We would take axes and go out and chop down trees. A lot of weird stuff like that, unsupervised. But comics were great because they really were like the big epic movies you guys have today, and you could buy them every single month. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, quickly. So this is an inking technique I use, not with my finger, but it's just a Kleenex, and you can then take rapidograph ink. Right, it's a company called Rapidograph, and they make this permanent ink that you can buy in these little cartridges. You can just pour the ink right on the Kleenex like that, and then you can take it and apply it. The back of her head was too large, so I'm basically hiding that. And then kind of, you can get these kind of nice blends like this. Right? Super fast, super easy. Anyone want to ask a question? No? Yes? All right. No, just go up to the microphone, that way everyone else can hear.
Just a quick question for all the upcoming artists. What does it take to get into the industry? What are the steps you take to become a professional artist?
What does it take to get into the industry?
Yeah, what steps would you take to become, step up your art talent to professional level? And then what other steps take to get into the industry and become a professional comic book artist?
Right,
so get signed by, I guess, a comic book label.
Got it. All right, so I kind of talked about it a little yesterday, but I think to get good at anything, it's just a lot of practice and repetition. So even the stuff I did with this Kleenex, it looks pretty easy, but if you go home and try it, the first time's not going to be exactly the way you want it to go. So a lot of it's just repetition and building up that muscle memory. And the same thing with drawing. You just have to get to the point where you understand what you're drawing inside out. I can kind of visualize a human figure, and I can rotate in space, and I can get up really close and pull back, and and I try to do that for almost everything I draw, whether it's a car, a gun, a building, a spaceship, that kind of stuff. So that's super critical. And then beyond that, back in the day, you actually had to go meet editors or mail in your samples. It's so much easier now. You guys could just email your stuff in or put it on deviantart.com, or you could just self-publish. You don't need a company to validate your abilities as an artist, you could just create your own comic book, find a writer online, and self-publish. That's the way I would have gone for sure. I'm sure I would have done a web comic, something like that, because I didn't. I got in, but I really wasn't good enough yet. I actually learned on the job. I was getting kind of paid by Marvel to get better when I was working on Alpha Flight. And today I would say it's even more competitive than ever. So the ability to self-publish, I'd probably be publishing at like 16 or 17, but they'd be really bad comic books. But it gives you really good experience, and that's critical because that's how you build up the muscle memory, the knowledge, the understanding, and stuff like that. So, when you draw a figure, you're looking at what you saw published in a comic book, and you're like, okay, the collarbone. Can you see this? All right, collarbone. All right, collarbone goes here. The shoulders here. The bicep comes in here. The tricep is here. There's a little nook there. The forearm comes down to the wrist, to the fist, to the thumb, to the finger, right? Okay, so as I kind of walk through that, you go like, okay, that all makes sense. I know what all these muscles are. But in my head, as I'm drawing this, I'm thinking of the shapes, right? So that this is a triangular kind of heart shape and has this kind of form, this kind of shape on top of it. This is more like a football shape, right? Here's the football, right? Okay, and then these have like muscles that kind of go like that and connect up to here. And then this is behind this. So I can take that whole arm and then rotate it that way. So you see more of that tricep, the front of that bicep, the elbow comes in here, this muscle kind of goes over here, up on top of that forearm, comes down to the wrist, to the hand, right? Okay. So it's in my head it's three-dimensional, but I'm drawing it two-dimensionally. So that's the kind of knowledge you get when you just do this over and over and over again. All right. Yes, next question.
Okay. I guess you kind of answered most of my question there, but what's a good way to, what are some like the best ways to showcase your artwork without people kind of taking it? Because I was thinking Facebook a lot, but I mean, I got something on DeviantArt, sort of just just stuff for free, not really selling it.